On a chilly winter night in 2004, Maura Murray vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, known for her bright smile, dedication to her studies, and close ties to her family. On February 9, 2004, after a series of troubling events, including a strained relationship with her boyfriend, a mysterious phone call from an unknown number, and a sudden decision to withdraw $280 from an ATM, she packed her car and headed north toward New Hampshire. Friends later recalled that she seemed agitated, yet she insisted she was fine and needed some time alone. The drive up Interstate 91 was uneventful until, near the town of Haverhill, her Saturn sedan collided with a snowbank on the side of Route 112. The crash was minor, airbags did not deploy, and Maura appeared physically unharmed. She exchanged information with the other driver, a local bus driver, and even accepted a ride from a passerby who offered to call for help. Yet, within minutes, she declined assistance, said she would wait for AAA, and walked away into the darkening woods. What happened next remains one of the most baffling disappearances in recent true crime history. The accident itself seemed routine at first glance. Maura's car had slid off the icy shoulder, striking a snowbank with enough force to dent the front bumper but not enough to trigger airbags. The other driver, a school bus operator, reported seeing Maura outside her vehicle, talking on her cell phone. She appeared calm, even joking about needing a tow. After exchanging insurance details, she told the bus driver she would wait for AAA and declined his offer to call for help. A passing motorist stopped, offered to use his phone, and Maura again refused, insisting she was fine. She then walked toward the woods behind the crash site, disappearing into the tree line as darkness fell. Witnesses later noted that she carried only a small backpack and did not look back. The scene was oddly composed for someone who had just been in a collision, raising immediate questions about her state of mind and intentions. Earlier that day, Maura received a phone call that left her visibly upset. The caller ID displayed an unknown number, and she spoke in hushed tones, saying only, "I have to go." Friends who overheard the fragment recalled her voice shaking, as if she were trying not to cry. After the call, she abruptly changed her plans, telling her roommate she needed to drive to New Hampshire to clear her head. She withdrew cash from an ATM, purchased a bottle of wine, and headed north, actions that suggested urgency rather than a leisurely trip. Investigators later traced the call to a prepaid phone purchased under a false name, but the caller was never identified. The timing of this mysterious communication, coupled with her sudden departure, has led many to speculate that someone, or something, was compelling her to leave campus under duress. When Maura failed to return to campus, her friends reported her missing the following morning. Local law enforcement launched a search that expanded rapidly, involving state police, volunteer teams, and search and rescue dogs. Helicopters combed the dense forest surrounding Route 112, while ground crews followed footprints that led from the crash site into the woods, only to vanish after a few hundred yards. Despite extensive efforts, no trace of Maura was found. Her backpack, phone, and personal items were never recovered. The case quickly attracted national media attention, with outlets highlighting the eerie circumstances, a young woman disappearing after a minor crash, refusing help, and walking into a winter night with no clear motive. The lack of evidence frustrated investigators and fueled a growing sense that Maura had either vanished voluntarily or been taken against her will. As the investigation stalled, theories proliferated. Some believed Maura had staged her own disappearance to escape personal pressures, academic stress, a troubled relationship, or potential legal issues stemming from a disputed credit card charge. Others pointed to the possibility of an accidental death, suggesting she succumbed to hypothermia after wandering into the woods and her body remained undiscovered due to the harsh terrain. A darker theory posited abduction, the mysterious phone call, her sudden withdrawal of cash, and her refusal of help hinted at coercion. A few speculated she may have encountered a serial predator known to operate along New England's rural routes. Despite numerous leads, sightings reported from Maine to Canada, none panned out, leaving each hypothesis tantalizingly unverified. One of the most compelling leads emerged from a trucker who reported picking up a female hitchhiker near the accident site later that evening. He described a young woman matching Maura's description, wearing a dark jacket and carrying a backpack, who asked for a ride toward Burlington, Vermont. The trucker said she seemed anxious, repeatedly glancing over her shoulder, and fell silent after a few miles. When he stopped at a rest area, she exited the vehicle and vanished into the night. Although the trucker's account was corroborated by a receipt showing a fuel purchase at the stated time and location, investigators could not confirm the woman's identity. The hitchhiker's story raised the chilling possibility that Maura had accepted a ride from someone who then took her elsewhere, or that she had willingly left with a stranger who promised help. Weeks after her disappearance, investigators discovered a note tucked inside a library book Maura had borrowed days before she left campus. The scribbled message read, "I'm sorry, I had to go." The handwriting matched samples from her personal journals, suggesting she had authored it herself. Some interpreted the note as a preemptive farewell, indicating she intended to disappear voluntarily. Others argued it could have been written under duress, a forced confession meant to mislead investigators. The note's timing, found after the search had already begun, added another layer of intrigue. Forensic analysis showed no signs of coercion or alteration, but the ambiguity left both sides of the debate unsatisfied, and the note remains one of the few tangible pieces of her inner state before she vanished. In the summer of 2005, a credible tip surfaced from a small town in Quebec. A waitress recalled serving a woman who closely resembled Maura, speaking with a faint American accent, and asking about work opportunities at a local hospital. The waitress noted the woman seemed nervous, frequently checking her phone for signals that never arrived. She left after a brief meal, paying in cash and disappearing into the night. Surveillance footage from a nearby gas station captured a vehicle matching the description of Maura's Saturn, though the license plate was obscured. Though the lead generated excitement, follow-up investigations failed to locate the woman, and the vehicle was later identified as belonging to a local resident. The Canadian sighting, while tantalizing, ultimately added another dead end to a case already riddled with false hopes. 2 years after Maura's disappearance, a hunter stumbled upon a makeshift campsite deep in the White Mountain National Forest. The site contained a partially burned fire pit, a discarded energy bar wrapper, and a piece of fabric that matched the color of Maura's jacket. Though no human remains were found, the arrangement suggested someone had lived there temporarily, possibly seeking shelter from the elements. Investigators combed the area for DNA or other trace evidence, but the harsh weather had degraded any potential clues. The discovery reignited speculation that Maura had survived the initial night, sought refuge in the wilderness, and perhaps succumbed to the elements or encountered danger while trying to reach help. The campsite remains a haunting reminder of how close she might have been to safety, and how easily she could have slipped away unnoticed. Maura's disappearance left a profound void in her family, who have tirelessly advocated for answers, organizing vigils, maintaining a website, and refusing to let the case grow cold. Her parents have spoken publicly about the anguish of not knowing whether their daughter is alive or deceased, describing each anniversary as a fresh wound. The local community of Haverhill and surrounding towns rallied early on, volunteer search teams braving freezing temperatures, and local businesses offering rewards for information. Over the years, the case has inspired documentaries, podcasts, and countless online sleuths who continue to dissect every fragment of evidence. Despite the passage of time, the determination to find Maura remains undiminished, a testament to the enduring love and hope that surround her story. More than a decade and a half later, the Maura Murray case remains officially unsolved. Key questions persist: who was behind the mysterious phone call that precipitated her departure? Did she encounter foul play after refusing assistance at the crash site, or did she choose to walk into the wilderness alone? Why did she decline help from multiple Good Samaritans, and what was she hoping to achieve by disappearing? The lack of a body, concrete forensic evidence, or credible sightings has allowed theories to flourish, from voluntary escape to abduction to accidental death. Each new lead, no matter how faint, renews the possibility of closure, yet the mystery endures. As long as those questions remain unanswered, Maura Murray's story will continue to haunt investigators, true crime enthusiasts, and anyone who believes that every missing person deserves to be found. If you found this deep dive into Maura Murray's disappearance compelling, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more chilling true crime stories. Your support helps us bring these mysteries to light. Thanks for watching, and remember, some secrets stay buried only as long as we stop looking.